My name is Tracy Kozlowski, and I'm a volunteer here at the White Mountain Community Garden. I mostly volunteer my time in the high tunnel working with the tomato plants. That seems to be where I just find the most joy. The community garden is located in the center of Show Low, and we volunteer here to grow produce organically and share in that harvest. To be a member of the White Mountain Community Garden, it is $40 a year. If you can't garden at home and you want to have a plot here at the community garden to do your own gardening, you would pay an additional $20 for a raised bed or 20 cents per linear foot if you wanted an in-ground bed. Community garden doesn't need to be expensive at all. That's the whole purpose of it, is that we can share resources, we share tools, we share in the weeding, we share in all the work. We're also sharing knowledge, so we're helping each other out on how to grow up here and what varieties do well and just the whole thing. I think community gardens bring the community together to grow locally, to help each other out, to support one another. Sometimes people can't garden at home because they live in an apartment. There's just not enough space. Sometimes the terrain or the soil is difficult to grow in. Sometimes you've got neighbors and it's just really not conducive. So the great thing about a community garden is it's a place you can go, you're welcome there, you're sharing resources and so on and so forth. So it's just a better alternative for people who may have difficulty growing at home for other reasons. Huge benefit to the community garden is if you've got these startup resources already established and in place, so you don't have to do that at home. So you can learn here. And then if you want to venture out and replicate that at home, you know, you've learned so much here to start with. So that's a huge benefit to people to do it that way, to get into gardening here at the community garden and then take what they learn. How could I adapt this or do this at my own home? I've lived up here for a long time and I didn't even know the community garden was here for a number of years. I think community gardens are getting more popular. I think you're seeing an increased number of them and an increased number of participation in community gardens. I think it's important people to learn how to grow their own food. We see food shortages, and so I think it's an important tool to have. And so, yeah, I think you're going to see more and more of them and they're going to become more popular. So this community garden, first of all, it's one of the first ones in the White Mountains, which is super cool. The founding members created this unique program that I don't know of any other community gardens doing, certainly not in Arizona. It's called the HELP program. HELP stands for Healthy Eating and Living Participation. Participation is important because you're participating in the work of the garden as well as the harvest of the garden. So everybody that volunteers here as a member of the HELP program will log their hours in. We'd love it if everybody did 2 hours a week. That would be great. Some people do more, some people, you know, are on vacation, but that's the nice thing. You can come back and do it when you can do it on your own schedule. We are weeding, we are amending the soil, we are planting the crops, we are maintaining them, supporting them, fertilizing them so that they'll grow really good. And then we are harvesting them. And the beautiful part is that we all share in that harvest. So everybody's going, you know, when you're here and you're harvesting that day, we just are dividing it up and everybody shares in it. So I think that's a unique thing. Community gardens can be a place that you can come and have your own space and grow your own thing and do your own thing. The HELP garden is like one step above that, where you are just joining in the community effort and sharing, again, with the work as well as sharing the produce. I retired a couple years ago from public safety. I wanted to do something in retirement that was totally different from that. And I wanted to learn a new skill. So I had been in this community and heard about the community garden, and I thought, oh, I just want to go check that out. Both of my grandfathers were gardeners, they're backyard gardening, and I thought, I want to check that out. So I came over to learn more about it, and the more that I was here, the more I wanted to be here. It just brought so much joy. It felt good to be outdoors, it felt good to get your hands in the soil, to learn new skills. And it's not just about planting plants. There's so much more that goes into it and so many resources, and it just blew my mind. It was amazing, and I'm just so glad that I'm here and I'm learning more and more every year, and now helping other people that are starting on this new adventure too. I volunteer with the children's program, and it's amazing how it opens their eyes to where food comes from. They don't really know, it comes from a grocery store to them a lot of times. They don't know that carrots grow in the ground and apples grow on a tree and all these different things. So seeing them, I don't know, it just sparked an interest, like we need to pass this on to the next generation. This is where food grows from. Yes, you can get stuff at the grocery store and you could supplement, but if you didn't have that resource, if that wasn't there anymore, what would you do? You'd have to figure it out yourself. Why not do both, right? Why not have several avenues of having food production coming in? Why not support local farmers and buy your eggs from them, or buy, grass-fed meats from them? If you can't have the farm in the backyard, why not support them and have that and learn those skills? And I just think seeing the kids, their eyes open to all that, it's like, wow, I think we've maybe forgotten that a lot. You get so detached from where your food comes from. This is a beautiful way to see where it comes from and to realize that you can be a part of that and you could do that for yourself, for your family. I just think that's really, really unique and really awesome. Fertilizer is a way for the plants, for you to give the plants the nutrients it needs in order to grow. To support the growth of the plant, whether it's the leaf protection, the leaf growth for photosynthesis, the stem growth, then the flower production. So fertilizer just supports it with minerals. Our soils are so depleted of minerals, we don't even realize it. So supporting that in an organic and healthy way, I think that's just the way to go when it comes to gardening. Give them the fertilizing they need because the soil isn't giving it to us anymore. It takes a while to heal the soil and to amend it, and for those nutrients to return, all those microorganisms, for that whole thing to happen again. Fertilizing is a way to support the plants in the meantime. Really, actually, it's supporting the soil. When you fertilize, it's supporting the soil, which then in turn supports the plants. Worms are cool. I'm a worm farmer. I have a vermicompost at home where I feed my kitchen scraps. I put them in my worm bin. The worms do their magic on them, and then I harvest all those worm castings and I put it back in my garden and grow again. Worms are cool. They aerate the soil. They provide those castings, which are nutrients to the soil. So it's just a cool, easy way to be a farmer and to support your garden. Plants are unique. And they all have benefits and they all have things that they, can provide. So plants working together, it's pretty cool to see. Some plants will take things out of the soil, take extra nutrients, certain types of nutrients out of the soil, and there's other plants that give that back. So having that partnership, having those plants together is super neat. Plants, like if you want to have garden vegetables, you might want to have flowers as well, because they will bring in pollinators like butterflies and bees that will take care and pollinate those plants and get those flowers to fruit on those vegetable plants. Yeah, it's really neat why you would have so many different plants and people garden with different combinations. It just, makes the whole gardening thing grow. After you've been gardening a while, you will get volunteer plants. So these are seeds that were either left behind by the fruit or the plant. Maybe birds brought them in. And that's beautiful to see too. Like what will grow in that soil. You didn't have any intention of having that particular plant, but that's kind of exciting to see. Like weeds, we don't, you call it a weed, but is it a weed? Like, does it have some medicinal purposes possibly? Is it, something that we could grow in between seasons to protect the soil so there's still life matter happening in the soil? Plants are just so cool. It's fascinating how much there is to do with plants. Bees are amazing because they pollinate plants. They take the nectar back to the hive and they're making honey with it. But as they're tootling around in the plants and the flowers, they're pollinating those plants, and that's part of the reproductive cycle of the plant. In order for it to grow, it needs that pollination. So it's a benefit to us to have the bees. If we didn't have those bees pollinating those plants wouldn't grow or produce fruit. We wouldn't have food. We need bees and bees need us. The great thing about community gardening is that you don't need any experience to come in. A lot of people may think that may hold you back from going to a community garden is, I've never grown anything or planted anything in my life. What would I be able to offer a community garden? But you can offer so much. There's so many different tasks to do with gardening that you have something to contribute and you can learn. We have one lady that she just loves to weed. That's all she cares about. Like she's just, I'm scared. She's like to do plants. She's getting more and more used to it and it's beautiful to see that happen. But she just loves to weed. She's like, nobody else likes to do it. I like to do it. I'll do it. I don't mind. So it's super cool. There's something for everyone. You know, we need things built. Plants need trellising systems. We need water lines laid. You know, people may know the mechanics of just like an irrigation system. There's so many things you can offer that you don't even realize it. I say just go, just show up and ask them, what do you need help with? What are you doing? Teach me, let me. They'll eat that up. They'll love that. I think anybody could join a community garden, no matter the skill level, no matter your physical ability, capabilities. You know, we have kids in here. We have special needs people that come volunteer at the community garden. It's a great way to give to the community. You could start your own community garden. It could be just amongst family members. Who's got the garden space? Who could grow the vegetables that love the sun? Who has that space? Or who has the space that, you know, they need a little bit of shade? You can just do it amongst your family or friends or neighbors. You see little community gardens popping up in little neighborhoods all the time. So if you can't find one, go start one. Something so cool about the community garden is we share in the produce. And all those leftovers, we give to community food bank. We give to recovery programs in our community, people that need that support. So we're feeding the homeless, we feed our veterans. We love that we get to do that. We have a group of people that come and volunteer at the community garden. And so we give them the produce too and feed them. They take it back and cooking. It's a recovery program. So this is awesome for them too, that they get these fresh vegetables to take back and what kind of meal are we gonna prepare for this and challenge their creativity and such. So it's a beautiful thing that the community garden can give back to the community and provide resources to the homeless, to the veterans, to recovery groups. It's awesome. Growing in different climates is different. We have a lot of people that come up to the White Mountains to grow with us and they live somewhere else in the winter. It's totally different up here. The climate, the wind, the soil, the temperatures, it's totally different. So I think that might put people off a little bit, like, I don't know how to do that here. It's so different. How could I possibly? It's amazing what you can grow. So I think that that's something unique as well, is like learning what's happening in your community. Again, those words of wisdom that you get from fellow gardeners, like, oh, I was able to, you know, finally grow this. It's just, you got to tweak it. You got to do it this way. Those little words of wisdom and stuff like that. I think growing in different climates, sometimes people might hesitate. And so I think just, again, go to your community garden. How do you guys do it? You know, has anybody been able to grow this kind of crop here? Tell me how you did it. What you do? What were the tips and tricks? Beyond climates, there's microclimates. So what I can grow at my house might not necessarily work here at the community garden, and vice versa. So there's these mini microclimates where there's a dip, and so the cooler temperatures will settle. And so it's colder in that little area than it is, you know, just a few hundred feet away. So one plant, one fruit, a tomato can give you 50 seeds. A lettuce can give you a plethora of seeds. Those are seeds you can save and you can plant them year after year. Seeds will last if you keep them in a cool, dry, dark place. They can last you for years and years and years. Isn't that awesome to know? It's not just, you know, this one plant that you have, but that you'll save the seeds from that plant and you'll be able to have a harvest for years to come. You can share with other people. We do seed swaps, where we'll bring, you know, I'll bring all the seeds I have and everybody will bring their seeds, and then you get to swap them out and share seeds. You can go on and on and on and create and have this food sustainability from these plants. Gardening is a lot of work. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of things that can happen with it. You have the bug situation, you have the soil situation, you have the sun or the weather takes over, keeping the weeds down so that the plants can thrive. There's so much work with it, but just come together and share in that workload. If you're doing it at home, you can keep things simple. The bigger gardens, yeah, it takes a lot of work. Gardening is super important. It's super important of a skill to know in order to survive. It's a super important skill to have to pass on as well so that we don't forget where our food comes from and how to grow it ourselves. We've become very dependent on systems, on food growing and food production, that we need to remember that we can do it ourselves and that we can pass that knowledge along and make sure, yeah, that doesn't go away. I just found that being amongst nature is a healthy place for me. I feel good being outdoors, being amongst the plants, learning about it. The whole Mother Nature, I think, is just a beautiful thing. And so I love it. I didn't know that I was going to love it as much as I do, but I absolutely do. I'm addicted to it. I keep coming back for more. I'm like a sponge wanting to learn it. I went and got my Master Gardener program, completed that program. I just wanted to learn more. These folks that have been at the community garden from the beginning, I'm constantly asking them questions and picking their brains. I want to know more and more. So for me, it's become a passion. Maybe started as a little hobby to do in retirement, but it's a passion now. I don't think I'll ever not do it. It's interesting to see how it's spilled over, that now I'm growing houseplants and flowers. Originally, I just wanted to grow a few vegetables, right? And now I'm growing all this other stuff and learning about companion planting. And yeah, I just think it's become a true passion of mine now. And just passing that along and educating people or helping people along with the process. Yeah, absolutely have a love for it now deep in my heart. The food is amazing. It's remarkable how different a tomato from my garden tastes compared to a store-bought tomato. It's noticeably different. Strawberries, it's the same thing. It's eye-opening how if you grow organically, you grow yourself and you know everything you've put into it is goodness, it tastes so good. And then the fact that you worked for that, you picked off those beetles and you watered it routinely and you fertilized it and you watched it through the whole process from seed to growth. I don't know, that makes it taste better. It's just remarkable how much you appreciate your food. It tastes better too. I feel like I'm living a healthier lifestyle and I'm a healthier me because of being in the garden as well as eating from the garden.
Hire us to tell your story. As an independent team of filmmakers, we love producing documentaries for artisans of all trades, honoring skill, passion, and determination.
The fruits of our labor literally creates happiness.
Founded in 2020, we harness our collective experience and enthusiasm for storytelling to deliver content that resonates with viewers on every level.
Think big and think outside of the box.
We avoid the constant noise of clickbait news and outrage headlines, instead crafting more intimate narratives that touch on the purpose of life itself. Stories that not only inform but also inspire, whether it's the art of agriculture, the science of fermentation, an innovative garage startup, or the intricacies of off-grid living. We're here to explore it all and invite you to join us in the discovery.
You're just working with what you have at hand instead of having unrealistic expectations.
We know the world is brimming with hidden stories waiting to be told. These are tales of ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
The biggest thing is to realize that there's nothing that you can't do.
Embodying the American spirit that with hard work, dreams really can come true. So whether you're a garage baker, homegrown mycologist, backyard farmer, or off-grid homesteader, send us a message and share your story with the world.